the honey pot. It's one of the, it's kind of like a funnier one, but it is a drag. It really does suck. And it makes, if you're like a single man, it just kind of makes being in Southeast Asia just a little bit crappier. Well, I mean, it just makes being in Vietnam a little bit crappier. So basically there's this thing called a Tinder bar scam, Bumble or whatever. Like there's not like a set name for it, but basically like it's just this persistent scam that happens with dating apps that targets, you know, male tourists. And I talked about it a little bit in my first 24 hours in Hanoi video. But basically, the way it works is you're on a dating app, you're looking to, get a date. And, you match with a girl and she's very enthusiastic about meeting you. You kind of know the level of looks of woman that you generally get. And so all the girls that seem to be following this scam are all really, really attractive. Now, that being said, women in Vietnam are generally really, really attractive anyway. It's not hard to find that. So that's not an immediate indicator. But like, if you don't normally get really hot girls and all of a sudden a really hot girl wants to meet you like that night, maybe an indicator. Anyway, so basically you're on a dating app, trying to find somebody, you match, and then all of a sudden she's like, where are you at? Or what are you doing? Or whatever. Hey, do you want to meet tonight? It's always got to be tonight. And then, hey, let's go to and then the big kicker is, hey, like I want to meet in this area. And so like in Hanoi, they're going to try to meet you in Old Quarter. Like all the ones where it was like, this is like clearly an indicator, is like, they all insisted that you meet in Old Quarter. Now that by itself isn't the key indicator, but it's like, oh, I want to meet tonight. Oh, I want to meet in Old Quarter. And those are like, should get your spidey sense going. But the one that is like, this is the no shit, is if they want to meet at a specific bar that they pick by name, they are doing this scam. You can just immediately block them, unmatch them. As soon as they say, hey, I want to go to bar X, it's done. If you want to play around with it a little bit, which I'm always all about learning, suggest you go somewhere else. You should be meeting them in your area anyway. So wherever you're at. So the thing is like, if you're a foreigner, if you're traveling, there's a good chance you're probably staying in Old Quarter or next to Old Quarter. And so it does become a little bit awkward to say, no, we can't meet at that block corner. We're going to meet over in this other place that's 5 minutes away. So what I did was I just moved outside of Old Quarter. So it's like, I know whether they're what the agenda is. But, so he's like, hey, no, we're going to meet in, you should pick the area. And if they insist like, hey, Old Quarter, and then they try to take you to like a specific bar, then there you go. That's your clear indicator that like, don't go in with them. Like they are going to try to entrap you. A few years ago, one of my friends, not Hanoi, but Ho Chi Minh, this happened to a couple of my friends where they got rolled into the old Vietnamese bar scam. But one of my friends, it was like right when this whole bar scam thing was like kind of new and no one heard about it, but he basically realized like the way this girl is texting me doesn't really make any sense. Like she's too forward about meeting, like she's not really playing any games. She's like, hey, let's do this, let's be here, let's do tonight. He's like, that doesn't seem like how they normally talk. So I'm like, I think this is a scam. And this is before anybody had heard of this scam. So he goes, you know what? I'm just going to meet this girl and see what happens. And then as he met up with this girl, yeah, I mean, from what he says, he was like, she was all right. She wasn't as good as her pictures, a little bit of a catfish, but it was like, all right, whatever. Goes with her, goes into the bar. As he was going into the bar, he makes sure to like scope everything out, like look at where the bathroom is, look at how many security guards are around, where the seat, like basically like figure out like, oh, well, since he was in there, he was just figuring out like, oh, well, this is how I can escape. Cause it seems like this is a scam, but I don't know how it works. But I think I can kind of like do a little recon and then just bail. And sure enough, sits down, avoids ordering anything, lets the girl basically pick the menu items, doesn't really drink anything, just sort of hangs out there and is like semi-social. But then the funny part was, because the first girl that he met was wasn't bad, but wasn't nearly as good as the photos made it look, that he was there chatting and then they called in the ball. Like it was only there for a couple minutes and immediately this bombshell, tight red dress, just a smoking hot, cute girl shows up and starts taking over completely the conversation. So then the girl that he showed up with is just sitting there on her phone, kind of like completely disengaged. And now my friend and the hot red dress girl, like she completely took over the whole interaction and started kind of messing with the dynamic to see whether this girl's pretending she's interested or is just like playing it up, and kind of like sussed it out and was like, oh, He doesn't know, like, confirmed, like, what the scam is, how it works, but it was clear from the way that the hot girl was behaving, like, this is not on the up and up. This is some kind of weird honeypot thing. Like, so let that kind of like trail off. Then the girl he showed up with originally, she like disappeared. I don't know. Like he didn't really tell me like whether it went to the bathroom, but it was like just kind of like disappeared. And so he just hangs out, acts like everything's normal, turns to the red dress girl and says, oh, hey, I'll be right back. I just got to go to the bathroom real quick. And then he goes to the bathroom, acts like he's taking a call, starts going out the security door, acting like, oh, I need to talk to somebody. The security guy for a second, like tries to grab him, just rips away and he's like, oh, my phone. And then as soon as he was out, he just sort of went outside and kind of cut the corner and then just ran off into the distance. And then there was, it was scot-free, but then got out of that situation. But then like more or less, the original girl started texting him a whole bunch saying like, well, hey, where are you? You need to pay the bill, blah, 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 all this other stuff. And it's like, he never ordered anything. This wasn't his idea. And then starts going, oh, well, let me look into this, doing the research. And like, this is a really common scam in Vietnam. And that one was funny because it was like a confirmed one, but also like he got away. So no real damage on that. Just kind of a funny story that, he gets to share that he got to scam the scammers.